I'm running the new OBS version of. Is this hat on backwards? I don't know. Is this an Indiana? This is supposed to be a steampunk hat. I don't know. I'm now running the new OBS version of this thing, and it has a new background delete feature that keeps getting updated. So we're gonna try it out. You guys ready? Properties, filters. Oh wait. There we go. We're doing this live on camera. It worked. Except, see, it always kind of gets rid of parts of yourself if you move too fast. So, let's get rid of it, right? I mean, come on. Or we could put a better background. What do you guys want for background? We could put in a picture. Let's do that. A media source or a scene. No. You guys are, well, now you're asking yourself, why am I watching this video? Right? We can just do display capture. That looks good. It's not working. There we go. Okay. Ready? Okay. So, I had this epiphany the other day, and I've already written about this and stuff, but I don't know how much I've actually talked about this on my channel. If you pull cards and you ever get if you pull a 7, what's it called? Something cross. That card's pulling. It's called a. God, now I need to look it up. I'm on camera. I don't even know how to do this. There's 10 cards in a Celtic cross reading. That's right. So if you pull 10 cards in a Celtic cross, and if you get the Lover's card in the outcome position, and this used to trigger me, right? This used to trigger me a lot. What's the Lover card? Let's just look at the Lover's card, right? Let's look at the Lover's card. Why not? 2 lovers holding hands, kind of like 2 of Cups, but a little different. Lover's card is more of a spiritual card than 2 of Cups. 2 of Cups is more of an emotional state between you and somebody else. The Lover's card is a more talking about combining the self. So aspects of yourself that it's like two sides of the same coin, right? Now I can't even find it. I must have passed it. I don't have it. He has disappeared from my deck because I want to find it. We can do this, right? I mean, how hard can it be, right? There it is. I got it. I'm sure you guys already know what it looks like. And the reason is, so there's this angel, right? Oh, no, I got my screen delete, so you guys can't see it. Hold on. Oh, wait. I'm just a goof today. Just totally goofing off. Okay, here we go. So, yeah, the Lover's card's got... And there's an angel overlooking 2 aspects, the masculine and the feminine. Right? Instead of seeing these as opposing forces, a lot of times that reading will come up if you get it in a certain position. But if you get it in the outcome position of a Celtic cross, it means that it says this: eventually you will make the right choice. Now, obviously, that's going to trigger everybody that gets this in the outcome position. It's like, eventually I make the right choice. Okay. And then it says, you will accept other people for exactly the way they are and your true self will emerge. Pretty powerful statement, right? Like if, what does that mean? What do you think that means? So, I realize this. If you're ever avoiding a group or individuals in any way, then you're not really accepting them, correct? If there's anybody that you feel like you couldn't be around, then you're not in a place of acceptance for that person. Now, you might say, well, they're this or that. Well, now you're in a place of judgment. You've now separated yourself from a part of yourself. There isn't anything in this reality that isn't you. It's just in a different state of understanding and growth. Whether it's a bug, or a tree, or a mushroom, or another person. In any state of mind that they might find themselves in. So how does that... You might say, okay, well, great. And, I've talked about this before. Everything is growing. You can cast yourself into outer darkness for as long as you want. But eventually you'll come back. There's no such thing as an eternal hell. Anybody that tries teaching some kind of idea of this infinite time and spent in outer darkness in some bottomless pit somewhere doesn't know that that's impossible. You cannot permanently separate you from yourself. That's it, right? And so there's a lot of us grew up in this lifetime, and it felt like I've seen readings about this, and this is true. So if you're watching this channel, you might understand what I'm saying here when I talk about this. The roads that it feels like most of the roads that you interact with other people you have walked down in some way, shape, or form. And so it's a lot easier for you from a young age to accept the people around you. Having to interact with people in your life who are not that way makes it feel like you are an alien on this planet, because everybody, almost 99.99% of the people that you're going to run into are in some state of judgment of one another. They are this or they are that, or they're not doing this for me, so I'm upset with them, right? Why are you upset? That is their choice. They're just making a choice. Why would you be upset with anybody else's choice? Who cares? Let them choose whatever. People can cause themselves harm all day long. The only thing that's ever going to cause you harm is when you do not accept other people because you're not accepting yourself. It gets very long journey to accept yourself if nobody is accepting each other, and then they look at you like an alien when you're not in judgment of everybody else. I mean, that's why, for one thing, me trying to, interact with people in the business community can be very difficult. Because the business community is all about differences of potential. I have this value that I can offer you. But in reality, I mean, come on. Let's just accept each other for the way they are. And as soon as you're in acceptance and you see everything as perfect, because everything's growing, there isn't anything in this reality that isn't moving, A, and isn't growing, B. And if it's not, even if it looks like it's in a negative cycle where it's pulling away from each other, that's part of a growth process. If you look at the waveform, everybody pulls away and comes back. It goes like this. It oscillates back and forth. You can throw yourself into outer darkness for as long as you want, but eventually you come back. You get drawn back to yourself. It's all you. So if you're ever viewing anything, anybody or anything as not a part of you and not in some kind of growth process, then you will be uncomfortable around them, right? Totally comfortable. Why would I care? You can do whatever you like. You choose whatever you like, right? I mean, it's like that will get to you. That's how you get to become the Prince of Peace, because eventually you get to a place where nothing in this world, no matter what it is, will ever affect you. And so being in that state of mind is the primary goal of that is the beginning of Ascended Mastery. getting to the state of unconditional love for yourself and everybody around you. It doesn't matter who you are, what you're doing. And then life gets fun. Then you start imagining scenarios where you're, you kind of turn into a little bit of a brat, right? Because you start imagine ways that you're going to, interact with people that's going to test their patience so that they grow. But, things are good for people. People need to learn their lessons, right? We're all one here. You treat people nicely if you want to evolve in this lifetime. Either you accept people for the way they are or you don't, right? So many people, unfortunately, in this life are trying to sell themselves to each other, trying to make themselves feel better. And the reality that we live in forces you to try and make you do that, right? But why? Just ask me. I'll do whatever you want for you. Be gracious to me. If you want to return the favor to me. And, you can repay me in kind, or you can repay me however you want to repay me. It doesn't matter how you want to repay me. I don't care, right? That's your choice. I am removed from that because you're part of me. Whatever choice you make is the choice I'm making. When you really see the bigger picture, your mind does expand. You expand in consciousness. You're starting to see the healing process that's taking place. And so, I obviously, if you watch any of my other videos on this channel, you would notice I talk about co-creation a lot and how we're going to co-create together. But co-creation isn't going to happen. I can tell, and I've been led this way. Spirit has told me this. You can only do so much. And, people get comfortable with a way of doing things until they get really uncomfortable, right? Until you get super uncomfortable. That's when you start to do something else. So it is what it is. That being said, why don't we do a reading, right? What do you guys need to hear? I don't know. Maybe I'll see a visions of the future, right? I believe there will be a split this year. So the split this year, is going to be a decision for your heart space. You can always go in the healthier direction, but and nobody has any choice. And don't believe that you can avoid this. Everybody's going to have it. And the reason it hasn't happened before now is because the dollar has been the international currency, the international backing currency for so long that as soon as it crashes, that's when we get, one world government and all that crap. Don't know if it'll happen this year. Could happen when, as soon as there's a breaking point, as soon as enough people start working together in groups, in equality, not narcissistically, that's when the system will crack. Could be this year, could be next year, might be this year. As soon as that gets to a breaking point, that's when the system's going to crack, because then they'll know that their time's run out. Because everybody is always going to be attracted to people that know how to work together and set the right boundaries versus people who don't, right? It's forced everybody to become entrepreneurs and selling something. Or, the best case scenario is, maybe that's why you become a spiritualist on YouTube and you're drawing cards and you're just giving people messages, right? Divine messages. I love you, so I'm going to give you a divine message. In a way, I'm doing the same. I'm doing the exact same thing. I'm giving you a divine message. I'm telling you what's going to happen. As soon as enough of us get uncomfortable, where we have to start working together to create things together for other people, and that number gets high enough, and there'll be a breaking point where it'll start growing fast, because people see, okay, all right, these people know what they're doing. I can go do what I want for other people with this group. We can build things for other people. Soon as that gets to an expansive mode, because then it's a group creative project. There isn't one person controlling it. You can structure it to have a collective growing organism, like creating an earth baby. Imagine that, right? You're literally creating an earth baby that has its own awareness, its own group consciousness awareness. Now, we do now, but it's all so conflicted. It's all has different agendas. Once you create a group that starts moving in a unified objective in one direction, then you're creating an Earth baby. And I'm in the middle of creating a guide for creating an Earth baby. You just plant seeds, and then all the little cells come together. Super easy. It's going to happen. I mean, it's going to happen whether people like it or not. And as soon as enough people collect together, that's when the system will crack. Bang. Because now all the people that were living in the worst scenarios, all the slave scenarios, where they're having to work for somebody else for a little amount of money, will be working for themselves and each other. And all those people that were living off of their backs, used to that unequal energy exchange, where are they getting their workforce? Where's their workforce coming from? You guys get it now? A lot of people don't understand what's getting ready to happen, but it's coming. And so, bang, crack. And then you can make a choice. You can work with other people and love one another unconditionally and accept people for the way they are. And, you want to create ways to make sure that you can expedite people who don't, because when you're in that state, you're the most productive, easy person to work with no matter what. Anytime, the only difference in this world that makes you hard to work with is when you're creating judgments of the mind for the people around you. Because you're in conflict. You're in conflict with that person and the way they're acting. For whatever reason, you don't like the way someone's acting, and so you're in conflict. And you're not going to concentrate on what your work's doing. What your work is, you're not going to be... I mean, I wish I could share this with you, because I don't know anybody who's talking about this. I wish I could share the state of being with you guys, right? You start radiating healing energy around you, right? I got my little puppy dog here. She's... Hey, how you doing? She just likes getting belly rubs. She wants rubs, don't you? Yeah. And, yeah. I mean, I will make you fishers of men. I mean, that's what Jesus talked about. That's why altruism works. Because you have to become the most loving, humble human being on the planet. Because you understand, everybody is just holding on to some kind of pain. You don't have to hold on to any pain. You're a beautiful human being. There's nothing that you could possibly go through that I wouldn't understand that you've gone through, that where I would love you unconditionally and say, look, all you got to do is just let it go. Accept people for the way they are. Your mind, it could happen quickly. Your mind could expand, bang, like that, where you'll see everybody is growing and everybody's getting close. You'll get to that breaking point and bang, it's like you flash over. And it doesn't matter what happens to you at that point. Nothing. Right? You've saved yourself because you're no longer in judgment of yourself and you're not projecting that energy onto the people around you. She's not that way, right? She's in a little bit different evolutionary process, aren't you, puppy? So this little dog, I love this little dog. I love this little dog more than anything in the world. She'll, she's got to protect Dad, and she's got to protect everybody. She protect me from my dad, thinking that he's the bad guy when he's walking through the door. Not anymore when he's in the house, but she used to bark at him no matter what, just because he was conflicted, And yeah. And she, and I used to imagine what it was like for her, because my son found her in a field, and she was just living off little bird's eggs. And so she was lost. And then he set some food out for her, because he saw her in the field next to the house, and she came in and ate some food. And he was able to coax her in, because he's a gentle boy who, is good with puppies. And so she became part of the family. The first time I saw her, she was like, rah, 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 attack mode, right? She's got to protect her family. And that's her job. She's toothless. She can't harm a fly. But man, when this girl, gets off the hook, any size animal is gonna like. "Ugh." I've seen it happen. She's loud, and it sounds like some kind of emergency alarm going off, like meow, 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 meow. And you're just like, oh my god. I've seen cats, big dogs, anything. This dog goes off. I mean, she is like, yeah, she's amazing. But she doesn't understand that, it's all part of her. And so you just accept for the way she is. Sometimes I encourage her. Say, oh, go get her. Yeah, go get him. Yeah, say, go get him. Yeah. What do you guys do with your animals? Yeah. I mean, every dog and cat that I've ever had is totally different. Every single one of them have their different psychology. And you can get into their minds. It's fun. I mean, not in an unloving way, but in a very loving way where you're trying to support. I mean, I got this cat who, I mean, he accepts me, and I've learned to accept him, but under certain boundaries. There's sometimes it's like, no, not today, buddy. Just need to go. Because, I mean, he'll do things. Yeah, I'm not going to talk about that cat. Anyway. So yeah, I mean, this is the most important message that you'll ever learn, right? That I've had to learn is that because it's a process, and sometimes it's scary to show those parts of yourselves, and people look at you funny when it's like, what? I don't see anything wrong with you. People always say, well, even though I'm not perfect, it's like, don't say that. You are perfect. What makes you think that you're not perfect? Just your own limited vision of yourself. That's the only reason that you could possibly believe that you're not perfect, is because you're seeing yourself through a very limited view of time of yourself. You're growing. You'll always be growing. Even if you reach a state of awareness where maybe I'm vibrating in the fifth, sixth dimension, right? Maybe I want to, because everything is growing. And so if you're going to be planting seeds to make it grow, maybe I want to put myself in a lower dimension again to help that grow. I mean, what am I doing here? What are you doing here? Right? Love you guys. Have a wonderful day. Have a wonderful weekend. Eclipse Day on Monday. See what happens then. Maybe there'll be a big shift, right? Love you guys. You say bye, puppy? Yeah.